I'm Dr. Stephen Andrew Missick. I'm a candidate for Texas State Representative, HD 18, which encompasses Liberty, San Jacinto, Hardin, and East Montgomery County. So I want to give a campaign update. And what this campaign's about is getting a Republican representative in Austin representing this district, and not someone who runs on the Republican ticket, but is actually a Democrat. The second thing, which is a very big priority, is tackling Colony Ridge. We have to hold the Harris brothers accountable to the law, and there's a lot of things that are going on there that need to be shut down. And one of the biggest things, there's a lot of ways to tackle that problem, especially if we have a change of administration, which would be great. If we get Trump back in and I'm elected, Colony Ridge is going to be closed down. I'll just talk to Attorney General here, talk to the National Attorney General, and there's a lot of things we can do to put an end to that nonsense. But one of the biggest issues that there is with Colony Ridge, from my perspective, is the flooding situation that he's created by not building according to code and creating, their drainage system is failing because it's substandard, and it's endangering the entire community. And there's a lot of other issues with cartel activity and things which we can talk about later. But what I want to talk about is one of the primary objectives we have, and that's defeating Ernest Bales. And a lot of information has come out. A lot of new and helpful information from conservative organizations has come out. And I want to recommend you look at the House of Bad Cards. And what they're doing is they're looking at the worst representative, the worst state legislators in Austin. And of course, Ernest Bales made the deck. And they have him as a snake or a traitor. The House of Bad Cards, that is from Grassroots America. And they have even more interesting information about Ernest Bales. On their website, they have additional information, negative information about Ernest Bales, and that includes, he has these signs going up, and I'm starting to put my signs up too. But he puts on a lot of his signs conservative Republican. He is neither. And Rice University ran analytics on his voting record, and he's a liberal. He's a liberal. That's just a fact. You can look at it yourself. I'm not affiliated with Rice University. It's not a conservative think tank. It's just facts. So I think that's very important. And we also need to remember that now the federal government is investigating and taking action against Colony Ridge in the courts. But more action needs to be taken. And of course, that's not going to slow down the Harris brothers any. They're going to move full speed ahead. And as long as, the fact of the matter, as long as Ernest Bales is in office, nothing's going to be done about Colony Ridge because he's protecting them. So I want to recommend you look at these new information about Ernest Bales and organizations, not even conservative organizations, grading his voting record and showing that this man is indeed not a Republican. He's a Democrat. He's not conservative. He's a liberal. So one of the concerns I have, and I want to mention it right here, is I've been going to Republican women's meetings, and of course you get friendly receptions other places, but here Ernest Bales has like a cult following, and it's really disturbing. This one woman came up to me. I went to this Republican woman. A lot of them were very receptive and kind, and I appreciate that. Some were indifferent, but other people were just cold because they know Ernest Bales. And the thing is, don't call yourself a Republican woman. Don't call this a Republican Women's Club if you're going to vote for a Democrat on the Republican ticket. Ernest Bales is failing in pro-life. That means he's not pro-life. He voted to impeach our Attorney General, Ken Paxton. Why did he do that? Because Ken Paxton has been an effective Attorney General. Our country, look, Joe Biden didn't even win the election. They seized power. They had this junta, I'm sure it's directed by Barack Hussein Obama, and it's a left-wing extremist junta. It's a coup. And when Biden was in the process of taking over, he tried to assure people, "Oh, don't worry about me. I'm Moderate Joe from Scranton. I'm going to be president for all America's, red and blue. I'm for everybody." He's always been a left-wing extremist. He's never met people halfway. He's never been a moderate. And, I didn't buy that for a second, and a lot of people didn't. That's why we had probably over 1 million people at January 6th, because we see that this is a blatant election fraud, and we know that this man is a left-wing extremist, as has been proved by the policies of this administration to the great detriment of the nation. It's the same thing with Ernest Bales. He campaigns as a conservative Republican, but then he goes to Austin and he votes. He's got one of the most liberal voting records out there. So what happened was Ken Paxton is effectively, as Attorney General, he's taking legal action. He's taken the Obama-Junta to court. That's what it is, the Obama-Biden-Junta. He's taking them to court and he's winning. He's slowing down their destructive policies. He's effective. So Obama or Biden, they got on the phone, they called Dade Phelan and Ernest Bales and said, we need you to impeach Ken Paxton and take him out of the fight. So, we want to derail his efforts so he can keep on pushing this left-wing Marxist agenda. And Ernest Bales voted to impeach Ken Paxton. It's an outrage, a total and complete outrage. So he's weak on the border. He's behind this. He changed our district to a sanctuary district where we have cartel activity, where we have tens of thousands of illegal aliens. We have our environment being destroyed. He doesn't care about people. I mean, I guess I don't see the appeal in him, but he's charming to certain people. And these people, I'm his neighbor, or I went to high school with him. And it's like, well, you're not a real Republican. You're not a Republican. You're not patriotic. You don't put principles and virtue first. If you're going to vote for this guy, even you cannot but know that this is one of the most liberal and extreme politicians in Austin. And you're claiming to be a Republican, and you're going to vote with him, you're going to vote for him, supporting everything he's done against this country, against Texas, his efforts to flip this state blue. You're going to support it because you went to high school with him. That shows you love. It's petty. Our nation's dying, we're in trouble, and we need to change course. And we got to get bozos like Ernest Bales out of office. So I'm appalled. And you see these women, these women, I'm a prayer warrior, and apologizing, equivocating, and just outright lying, working to get this villain, Ernest Bales, reelected. They're going to put a Democrat in office representing this district to our detriment. I have some more news, and then we're going to talk about my campaign activities. So the news includes Janice Holt. So Governor Abbott made an endorsement. We have these three candidates running for state rep. That's Ernest Bales, the incumbent, a Democrat running on the Republican ticket. Janice Holt, a moderate Rhino Republican, and me, the Republican conservative firebrand. So Governor Abbott endorsed Janice Holt. Why? Because she knows the movers and shakers. She knows how to play the political game. She's a horticulturalist of the Austin swamp. She's got her foot in all the politics, what we used to call the back smoke-filled room. She's there. So she's deeply embedded in the Austin swamp, and from one rhino to another. So he gave her his endorsement. But that, in a way, that's good, because Governor Abbott has been weak on the border. We need to declare this as an invasion. It boggles the mind. Think about it. We're going to have 20 million people illegally cross our border, defrauding the system. These people do not have valid asylum claims. They're not refugees. They're coming over here to live off the largesse of the American taxpayer, and we can't afford it. Since Joe Biden took office, our dollar has lost a third of its value, and it's probably going to go down further than that. Where there's wars breaking out all around the world. We have Ukraine, we have Israel, and now we have the Houthis in Yemen. It's total chaos, and we need strong action on the border, and we need somebody to stand up for Texas. And there are certain things that Governor Abbott has been doing that are good, but he's been too weak. We need to stand up and say, no, we're not going to have, it's amazing. It's shocking. It's unsustainable, and we're going to go into decline. This is going to destroy the nation, having an open border like this. It's insane, and he's weak on it. Tucker Carlson has confronted Governor Abbott time after time again on his weakness on the border. He needs to man up and take stronger action. I signed the pledge with Texans for strong borders, and I'm proud to have done that. And there are certain things, like I said, there's certain things that Governor Abbott has done which are good, but he hasn't gone far enough, and this is a crisis. The survival of our nation is at stake, and he's just playing patty cake instead of playing hardball. The Democrats always play hardball. It's time for the conservative side to take hardball to save our country and to preserve liberty and opportunity and prosperity for our kids, because we're going to lose it all. We're going to lose it all. And we have cowards like Governor Abbott not willing to take the strong action. I mean, Carrie Lake, I'm sure she won in Arizona. They stole it from her because she was not going to just, I'm going to declare an invasion. She was going to formally make a declaration of invasion and take action on the basis of a formal and legal and binding declaration. It's not go, oh, I declare us an invasion. No, formally do it. Use your authority as governor and do it. Don't just say it, do it. He didn't really declare an invasion. He just said, I declare an invasion. He's to formally issue that this and formally declare legally and binding that this is an invasion. So the other issue about Governor Abbott, and it's good that he didn't endorse me because I'm not beholden to him. He has taken hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, from Trey and John Harris. And when I'm elected, and I will be, I'm going to fight to close Colony Ridge down, and I'm going to have to stand up against the governor out of the interests and the needs of my people in this district. I'm going to fight for you, and if that means fighting against the governor, then I'm going to do it. Because he didn't endorse me, he endorsed a fellow rhino. He's been weak on the border. I do appreciate some of the action he's taken, but it's not enough. It's not sufficient. He doesn't understand the gravity of the situation. Our nation's dying. So yes, one rhino to another, Janet Holt got the endorsement, but that's okay. In the end of this video, I'm going to have a clip from Texas Scorecard where you have this newscaster, Brandon Waltons, talking about Ernest Bell's left-wing voting record. Now, in conclusion, I want to talk about the actions, which I've been doing this week. It's time to start getting active. It's time to get this party started, and we need to start campaigning hard, and I am putting signs up, which is good, like Bales is. I need to put more signs up. I've done an interview with the Liberty Vindicator. Hopefully that'll be out soon. It's a video interview. I'm sure it's going to be an article as well. I sent out a text message to 10,000 people, virtually every Republican voter that where you get the phone records for, showing them a picture of Ernest Bales at the Flip Texas Blue rally wearing his purple shirt, showing he's going to transition Texas from red to purple to blue. And I have a video going point by point on how Ernest Bales is a Democrat, and I do talk about Colony Ridge in that video. So hopefully you got the text message, you can see it. Share this information. I also did my first mail out, and I targeted Tarkington because Colony Ridge, the cancer that has been able to fester and allowed to fester and protected as it's killing HD18, it's going to have it's a malignant cancer, and they're trying to spread out and consume all of HD18. Ernest Bales intends to turn, with Trey and John Harris, his co-conspirators, he intends to turn HD18 into a third world shantytown controlled by the Mexican drug cartels that isn't safe for Texas family. He doesn't care. He's taking his money to the bank. He's laughing at you. The Harris brothers are laughing at you, and we're going to make sure that they don't get the last laugh. And they've messed with Texas, and we need to make sure that Texas is going to make a mess out of Ernest Bales, Trey and John Harris, and everybody else that's involved in this criminal conspiracy attacking and hurting the people, the good people of HD18. So I did have a Meet the Candidate event in Cold Spring. It went well. And within a week, there's going to be several debates going on. And we need to be pressing towards victory, and we need to get this, put us all in the bag before February 20th. That's when early voting starts. And at that time, we need to have everybody knowing what's going on and knowing that the best choice is Dr. Missick, not Ernest Bales, not Janice Holt, but me, and vote for me on February 20th. Election day actually is March 5th. That's the big day. But hopefully, if we get enough people involved and active, we're going to have it in the bag during early voting. We need to do that, and it's important. And what we have to do is, yes, Ernest Bales has this cult group of people who are going to follow him no matter what. They don't give a damn about the issues. They don't care about the conservative party. These people are not patriotic. They don't love this country. They don't want to seek the best of this community. They don't want to seek the best of this country, because if they did, they wouldn't support Ernest Bales. But because they're his neighbors, because they know his wife, because they know his kids, because they went to high school with him, they're going to sell out their integrity, their honor. They're going to sell out HD18, sell out of our country to this Marxist Ernest Bales, who's destroying our nation. And what we need to do is don't worry about those people. People who are members of the Ernest Bales cult, there's nothing you could do. They don't care. They don't give a damn about this country. They know he's hurting this country. They don't care. They know he's hurting HD18. They don't give a damn. So don't worry about those people. Anybody that's not on the take from Ernest Bales, or not one of his minions or toadies or cult followers, say, hey, look at this video. Did you know this about Ernest Bales? Did you know his voting record? Do you know he's got one of the most left-wing and extreme voting records. Did you know he's been exposed for his involvement in Colony Ridge, Terranos, Houston? So you can't vote for this guy. If you're a Trump supporter, if you want to make America great again, we don't want to make America Marxist the way Ernest Bales does. Like I said, we need to preserve opportunity for everybody. And, hold Trey and John Harris accountable. These wicked men, you try to challenge them for what they're doing, and they say, well, you're racist. But they're the ones who are racially targeting and discriminating against and exploiting poor and vulnerable Hispanics. It's disgusting. And we need accountability, and we're going to hold these people accountable for what they did. And that's why we have to continue to fight. This is our opportunity to make this election a referendum on Colony Ridge. And conservatism and saving our country from this disastrous left-wing policy that's leading to our decline. So, I'm busy. We're going to stay busy. And every day, we're going to do more and more to win votes over. So, we got mail-outs. I got text message blasts. I got signs going up. We have campaign events, and we have debates and meet the candidate events. So let people know. Let people know. This is a chance to hold Ernest Bales and John and Trey Harris accountable and actually have a conservative Republican. This is still a red district. Ernest Bales is trying hard to flip this district blue, but this is still a red district, and we need to have the people. You go to a Republican primary, you should have a Republican candidate. Don't be played. Ernest Bales is a con man. He's lying to you. He's seeking your harm. That's what Ken Paxton said. He's harming us. So make a choice. Make a choice for a real Republican, for a patriot, for a military veteran, somebody who served in the military for 30 years and went to combat twice and served on the border for 4 years. Me. I fought for this country. I've served this country for so long, and I want to continue to defend, protect, and defend my community and this nation and what it represents in Austin. So please get involved. I want to see you on the campaign. I want to see you at the polls voting for freedom, voting for opportunity, voting for accountability, voting against corruption, and voting for Dr. Missick on March 5th, 2024. We're almost just 40 days away. So it's time to get active. Let people know. We've got to hold these people accountable and make America great again. Thank you, and God bless you.
Who is Ernest Bales? Well, first elected to the Texas House in 2017, Bales has been one of the most liberal Republicans in the chamber. Drawing Abbott's specific attention, however, has been his activism against school choice, the governor's top legislative priority. Ernest Bales has for a long time been a very, very vocal opponent to it, even going along and participating in events with Democrats, essentially to stop school choice legislation. Bales was one of 21 Republicans who voted with Democrats last year to kill an educational savings account proposal in the Texas House. And since then, Governor Abbott's begun endorsing challengers to those members who oppose school choice. But it's not just school choice that people can criticize about Ernest Bales. Additionally, he's been identified as one of the architects, essentially, behind the Colony Ridge illegal alien housing development, which is located in his district in Liberty County. A letter from Attorney General Paxton to the congressional delegation last year said that in 2017, Representative Ernest Bales and Senator Robert Nichols specifically took action on behalf of Colony Ridge to enact House Bill 4341, which established a small 5-acre municipal management district from undeveloped land in Liberty County. That is what we now refer to as Colony Ridge. The Republican primary will take place on March 5th, with early voting beginning February 20th.
Join in. everything in the victory.